Mark needed a mirror. He'd been meaning to replace his old, cracked one for weeks. One afternoon he found himself wandering into a local thrift shop. It was crammed with dusty furniture and trinkets from a bygone era. His eyes fell upon a beautiful antique mirror with an ornate silver frame. It called to him. He felt strangely drawn to it. Without hesitation, he bought it. The mirror felt heavy in his hands. It was heavier than it looked. He carried it home, eager to hang it in his bedroom. He thought the antique mirror would add a touch of elegance to the room. It did, but something felt off. He couldn't put his finger on it. He tried to ignore the feeling. Mark told himself it was just the power of suggestion. He'd always been a bit superstitious. This mirror was old. It probably held on to the energy of its previous owners. That was all. Mark noticed something strange about the mirror's reflection. It wasn't crystal clear. His reflection seemed slightly blurred. It was as if the mirror's surface rippled. He dismissed it as a trick of the light. Days turned into nights. Mark couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The reflection in the mirror was slow to match his movements. It lagged behind him like a poorly dubbed film. A shiver crawled down his spine each time he caught his reflection in the antique mirror. He tried to ignore it. He really did. Mark told himself it was his imagination, but deep down, a seed of unease was firmly planted. He couldn't help but feel watched. One night Mark woke from a dead sleep. A noise. There was a noise coming from his bedroom. He sat up in bed and glanced at the mirror. His blood ran cold. The reflection in the mirror was smiling. It was a sinister, cruel smile that didn't belong to him. Terrified, Mark grabbed the mirror and dragged it out of his bedroom. He hauled it up to the attic, his heart pounding in his chest. This mirror was evil, he decided. He couldn't keep it in his room any longer. The attic was the only place for it. That night, Mark couldn't sleep. He lay awake, listening to the sounds of the old house settling around him. Then he heard it scratching. It was coming from the attic. The scratching grew louder, more insistent. Mark knew he had to do something. This mirror was dangerous. He couldn't just leave it in the attic. It was tormenting him. He decided to destroy it. He grabbed an old can of gasoline from the garage. The fire roared as the wood caught. The flames danced around the silver frame. As the mirror burned, a voice whispered from the flames. It was low and menacing. "You can't escape me now!" it hissed. Mark backed away, his eyes wide with terror. The next morning his friends found the charred remains of the mirror frame in the backyard. They also found Mark's phone and his wallet, but Mark was gone. Vanished. The only trace of him was a faint, eerie grin etched into the soot where the mirror had burned.